reliability analysis. Okay, and this is topic of quality toolkit for managers. The subject code is KMBOM-03. Okay, so for further study about the topic product reliability analysis, you may refer following references. You may refer your textbook, reference book, and these are some good blogs and research paper that you may refer for further study about the topic product reliability analysis. Okay. So what is product reliability basically? Okay, so what is reliable means in terms of time, if you see that failure rate should be as less as possible, that is basically a parameter to concern about this reliability part. Okay, so product reliability is defined as the probability that a device will perform its required function subjected to stated conditions for a specific period of time. So product reliability is quantified as MTBF, means mean time between failure for repairable products and mean time to failure for non-repairable products. Means if you consider repairable products, okay, so you should consider about this MTBF, mean time between failure. Okay, and if there is non-repairable product, means use and throw type of products are there, so in that case you should consider mean time to failure, means what is the time by which it will fail, okay, or it will last, like battery. So battery is generally the shelf life of battery is for 3 years. So generally we get warranty or guarantee of 3 years only, and after that nobody is responsible for that battery basically. So what is this mean time to failure, means for non-repairable product. And what are the repairable product means like car or some computer, so that is a repairable product. So mean time between failures means what are the mean time in between some components are failing, and the product is stop its functioning basically. So that is basically mean time between failure. So that are the parts of that are the means factors that you need to consider while dealing with this reliability. Means you should consider MTBF and you should consider MTTF. So the famous bathtub curve. What is bathtub curve basically? So if you see that in early phase of life, generally we see that while we purchase a car, okay, so in first year we get 3 services, okay, after 5,000, after 10,000, and after 1 year. So generally what is after 1 month, after 5,000 kilometer of drive, and or 6 months, and after 10,000 kilometer of drive, or 1 year. So generally what is this means early life they are offering much more higher services. Okay, why this? Because failure rate are much more higher if they are occurring in early life of a product. Okay, and if they does not occur, then in their useful life they are generally reliable product. And after that once the life of that product has been means over, in that case you will notice a wear out means that that product will fail over there. Okay, so that is basically failure rate. So failure rate in early life, failure rate in useful life, and failure rate in wear out. Okay, so figure shows the reliability bathtub curve, which models the Cardell to Crave instantaneous failure rate versus time, which we would see if we were to wait long enough and keep good records for a given lot of devices. Okay, so this curve is modeled mathematically by exponential function, and more on this later. So the life of population of devices, a group of device or the same type, can be divided into 3 distinct periods. First is early life, second is useful life, and third is wear out. So what is early life? If we follow a slope from the leftmost start to where it begins to fallen out, this can be considered the first period. So the first period is characterized by decreasing failure rate. Means if you notice, then in early life most of the devices that are not so reliable may fail. Okay, so that's why companies are offering extreme care in the beginning year, means basically in early life. Okay, So the first period is characterized by decreasing failure rate, and it is what occurs during the early life of a population of units. The weaker units fail, leaving a population that is more rigorous. Okay, next is useful life. What is useful life? The next period is flat bottom portion of graph, means continuously if you see that the failure rate is on constant, means basically there is no failure rate. Okay, so the next period is flat bottom portion of graph. It is called useful life period, means failures occur more in random sequence during this time, and it is difficult to predict which failure mode will occur, but the rate of failure is predictable. Notice the constant slope. Like I have told that in case of car, if you see that battery will last after 3 years, similarly tire will last after 60,000 or 70,000 kilometers of ride. So what is that? Basically these failures are predictable. Okay, that you may notice easily, and that you may notice as per the shelf life of that product, that spare part or that component of product also. Okay, so notice the constant slope over there. Next stage is this wear out. So what is wear out? The third period begins at the point where the slope begins to increase and extends to the rightmost end of graph, and this is what happened when units become old and begin to fail at an increasing rate. So it is called the wear out period. Okay, wear out means after completing its life it will wear out, means it will stop it will suddenly stop working. Okay, so what is that? Basically wear out. So that is the dimensions of product reliability, and that is represented by this bathtub curve. Okay, means if you see that most of the failure occur in early life, if they are occurring if that product is not reliable one. Otherwise the product is reliable one, means you may use it for the shelf life of that product, and after that completing shelf life it will continuously wear out. Continuously would be in wear out phase, means it may suddenly stop working. So that is basically bathtub curve of product reliability. Okay, next is the formula for calculating mean time between failure and mean time to failure. Okay, so if you talk about this mean time between failure, so that is T upon R. What is T? T is total time and R is number of failure. Okay, so MTTF stands for mean time to failure. To distinguish between the two, the concept of suspension must first be understood. So in reliability calculation, a suspension occurs when a destructive test or observation has been completed without observing a failure. So MTBF calculation do not consider suspension, whereas MTTF does, because MTTF is for non-repairable product and MTBF is for repairable product. Okay. So MTTF is the number of total hours of service for all devices divided by the number of devices, means it is only when all the parts fail, with same failure mode, that MTBF converges to MTTF, means MTTF is equal to T upon N, means total time divided by number of units under test, means it is in totality MTBF, and it is in terms of units, number of units under test. Okay, so suppose 10 devices are tested for 500 hours, and during the test 2 failure occurs. So if you talk about this example, so the estimated mean time between failure is 10 multiplied by 500. 500 is what? Means 10 device is tested for working of 500 hours. So each device will work for 500 hours. So 10 device total working hour would be 10 multiplied by 500, and divide by 2. 2 is what? Means what is failure? So number of failure, basically number of failure is 2. So divide by 2. So that is what? Means 2500 hours per fail. Okay, means this is MTBF basically. Or if you talk about MTTF, so what is that? Means total number of devices are 10 basically. Okay, so mean time to failure is 10 multiplied by 500 divided by 10. So that is 500 hour per failure. Okay, so if MTBF is known, one can calculate the failure rate as the inverse of MTBF. Means the formula are failure rate is equal to 1 upon MTBF or R upon T, and where the R is the number of failure and T is the total time. So by this way you may calculate MTTF, MTBF and reliability part. Okay, so this is all about product reliability analysis. So if you want further study about the topic, you may refer following references. First, second and third are some good books, and rest are some good blogs, as well as last one is a good research paper about this product reliability analysis. So you may go through it, and if you have any query or